Good morning, guys. Or good evening, guys. Sorry, not morning. Mm-hmm. What's up, Ponzi? Just still getting a few things set up. Look at gold go, baby. We are holding a gold trade over here. We've been holding this trade for quite a while. We sit through a lot of drawdown. We'll just see what happens. We'll see what happens. I'm hoping at the top of the hour we get a little pop here. What do we got? Still got about 5 more minutes. 5 more minutes, we should get a little pop here. Usually whenever the Asia opens or the Tokyo opens, usually gold and the NQ will pop up. Ooh, come on. What's up, Timothy? How are you doing? Right now, the NQ is kind of flat, guys. So that's why we're on gold. If you look at NQ, it's been just pretty much trading sideways since what, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock. I mean, there's nothing going on with the NQ at the moment. I'm hoping once the no, this is gold here. What gives it? I don't know how well you can see that. I was trying to see where you can see both. I'm hoping once the Tokyo session opens that the NQ will start moving a little bit more. You think we dump? Yeah. Very possible. We got about 2.5 minutes before. I haven't even really looked at that, Joseph. I don't really look at the, I mean, I guess I probably should look at the 15 minutes. I do trade off of a 15-minute candle in the morning. But most of the times I'm not looking for the patterns on the 15 minutes. So may get the pushback down here at the top of the hour. A lot of times at the top of the hour, a lot of times you'll get kind of like the big move. Yeah, we've already taken the first. We were in heavy on this gold trade. We're only looking for a point. So it looks like our runner's about to get stopped out. We was hoping to at least make like 150 off this trade. Oh, gold usually goes down, then it goes up. Oh, is that, oh, USD? Yeah. Yeah, they definitely go in the opposite directions. So hopefully we're able to find something after we get tagged out here. Look for something on the in queue. We do got a pivot down at 265, so possible target for a pivot to the downside. I didn't know if we would get a push back up into the 300s before we sold off. So we were stuck in this range for all of the lunch hour today. I tried to trade the lunch hour today on my funded futures, and man, the price action was just so horrible during that time. It just was not moving. I mean, I think I was able to secure like a 20-point move. I mean, I feel like I caught the one good move of 30 points, but after that, it was just straight horrible. Oh, you had some good price action today at the London. Yeah, I caught the one good move this morning for a 50-point trade on my funded. That must be the top of the hour for the gold. Yep. Whoa, why didn't that close that? Dude. Dude, you see that crap? It wouldn't even. Dude, that's messed up. That wouldn't even close. That was another setup right there for gold. But I think we missed that one. Yeah, I don't know. That should, yeah, that should have not happened. That should have stopped me out. I don't know. It's been doing weird stuff sometimes, so I don't know what made that happen. Yeah, I just don't know if I want to jump in quite yet on the NQ. It seems like whenever I think it's bearish, it ends up going back up. Then I end up getting trapped in a trade. There was the gold entry. Let me. Ooh, that thing looks nasty. Yeah, I'm still just trying to be a little bit more patient and make sure we don't get some kind of pullback. Maybe we can participate if it starts pushing down. What's up, Raul? How are you doing? What's up, Albert Pizza? We got a nice little pivot down there. I don't know if that pivots to. But I know what will happen if I try to short this. This thing's just going to end up ripping back up on me. That was kind of like a retest of the. So you would need the 307s to hold. So maybe. Yeah, we still may get burnt on this. Ooh, that was some weird wickery going on. .307 is my line in the sand. So whatever happens, if it pushes back up and 307 loses 307, we will close our trade. Not in the Asia market. New York market, yes. Struggling here to lose the 90s. Do we close it and re-enter? Yeah, I just don't want to get caught on the wrong end of this early in the night. I want to see us hit that pivot down there if we are going to continue lower. There's my line in the sand where that blue line is, guys. We have about $80 in profit that we made off that gold trade a while ago. So hopefully if we do take the loss, we'll just lose our gold profit that we had a while ago. I was looking for a pivot retest. We like to retest those pivots a lot. We had a gap fill in. You basically broke out of a consolidation zone here. And it's the top of the hour. Most of the time, you'll get your move one way or the other at the top of the hour in the Tokyo session. $307 is going to be my line in the sand. Oh, you're buying? I don't mind the buys if it's back above 307. Ooh, gold paid really good on that last ledge, guys. Looks like our runner's about to get stopped out. Did everybody survive the crazy price action today? Oh, no, I didn't say buy. I'm not long biased unless we get back above 307. Did everybody survive the crazy price action today? It was some pretty wild price action. Very, very wicky today. Did anybody take the opener this morning? We had a nice trade on the opener this morning. Oh, you were lucky this morning. Dude, I think our long this morning was, what, 50 points for the funded trade? It was the second one, though. The first one got stopped out. We had to be a little patient on it this morning. So I did try to long here when we printed here. So it's almost like we wigged down and started pushing. I got like 10 points. It went up about 15, 20 points, but the runner got stopped out. So basically it ran our previous day high. Then basically on this way back up, we got long again around 317 and took it to 67. So that was our funded trade this morning. And it paid 50 points. So we're pretty much back to the same level we were back in March. So I feel like I was on a struggle bus with these one fundeds. I'm at like 26,800 on it, or basically $1,800 in profit. And like I was just on straight struggle bus with those accounts. Like I think we were red overall. See, now it's kind of back at my bull bear line, which is the 07s. Yes, this is futures. So that means to get to probably the closest account that we're going to have to another payout this month will be $800. And that's on this 26K. This was the one that I was hoping to get payout with last month, but did not get it. So I'm waiting for the money to get taken out of this one. So we're at 53,600. That's where you got to get to if you want to request $1,000 with Bulenox. With the 50Ks, 25Ks, you got to get to 27,600, and we're about $800 away. I've gotten here once before, and I hit that wall back in whenever we're having rollover week. I struggled really bad that week, but we didn't really mess up our accounts, but it was very inconsistent that week. So it was very, very tough that week. But we still survived it. It was just tough. Yeah, there's some futures that you can, some prop firms you can buy straight to fundeds, but they're pretty pricey. I don't really recommend those unless you're just really good at, you're a really consistent, good trader. If you're good at being consistent, those are not a big deal. But if you're not, I don't really recommend them because, we just broke our bull bear line here. No, I didn't say they wasn't good for the overall traders. I was talking about like, if you're a beginner, start off with the evals, not to start off with the straight to funded. That's what I was talking about there, King. I like Lucif. I'm using Lucif now. I lost my funded account with Lucif about 2 weeks ago. Let me log into my Lucif account. I'm not logged into it. I've only gotten one at the moment. It's a 25K. We're at 26,133. So we're about $120 away from having a second funded with them. Hopefully do a much better job this next time around. I was very disappointed that I did that. I had a kind of a tilt day with my Lucif a few weeks back. And I would think that we're moving up to possibly the 34s here. Dude, look at gold paint again, guys. Man, I missed that next gold trade. Look at gold paying. Look at gold. Your long would have been here at that ledge. There's another long, I think that was created there. The long that we took on gold a while ago was right there. Was it there or right here? It was somewhere in here. Let's see. 84 was our entry from earlier. It did set up another entry in that same spot at 80, but man, it's already been there down there so many times. The next bull bear line is going to be that 84 level, guys. I feel like we push back down off that. I don't think we get through that. I almost just want to take a freaking a filler trade here with very short stop loss because I wasn't sure if we get through that or not. A lot of consolidation right there. Whew, pushing it. What's up, Robert? We're just going to risk 5 points on this, guys. Okay. It had to be an instant drop. Wow, this thing's just trucking right now. We'll have to wait for a new candle to print before we can jump in there long. I try not to chase these 5-minute candles. Man. We only do evals in the evening. So no funded trades, guys. These are all strictly, mostly all Bulanox evals that we're trading. Still got 2 minutes left on this 5-minute candle. So basically what we'll have to do is just wait. Said 280. I'm 48. In the evening, guys, I only do evals only. I don't ever trade anything like as far as funded goes. These are strictly evals. I don't know. Maybe they're just curious. It's okay. It doesn't bother me. Hopefully next week we'll be back home. That's why the background looks a little different, guys, because I'm not at home. We're at my sister's house in Georgia. Man, I think I actually took some longs up here this morning during the New York session above 60. Three seconds. Sounds good, man. Have a good evening. You would kind of like to see it kind of wig back into this, back into the consolidation zone, then pop back above the previous day close. I'm just glad we were able to get out of this short that we took earlier. That's usually what happens. A lot of times, if I'm looking for like a target when the market first opens, we always go in the opposite direction. I still have my struggles with the Asia market. Yeah, this would be the area that you want to see hold if you're still looking for longs. Or what we could do is also pull the fib on this and look for the 50% pullback. The 50% pullback would be what? Around the 30% or 20 down back to the 20. Probably what helped me out a lot was I have a friend who does this, a methodical man, and basically the key is really not to spend a lot of money when you first, when you're starting out. If you can just keep your, if you're just starting out, I don't ever recommend a cash account either, just because most people usually start out with cash accounts, so lose their money. Just go find a cheap prop firm company that'll allow you to trade evals and give you the data for free. So like probably Apex and Bulanox are the cheapest to start out with. But you also have to trade small too. It really doesn't do any good to be cheap if you're going to be, going full port. That's kind of what has helped me recently, and it took me a while to even really start doing that. I try to stay like super consistent, with every now and then I think this one account that we just hit second payout with, where I've kind of got a little squirrely on. So this is the account that we've been trading, the one that we just requested a second payout on. If you can see, besides is like these two trades here that we had a little bit of over leverage, but almost every trade is for like $100, like 60 to $100 consistently every day. And this is trading the New York session. You can see we had a few little hiccups where we kind of over leveraged a little bit. So what is it? We've had this count since right there at the end of November, and I think we've taken, 4 or 5 losses. So 1 loss, 2 losses, 3 loss, 4 loss, 5 losses in like 4 months. And that's trading strictly New York. This time of the night, I only trade evals. This is the 25K that I'm trying to get to pay out now that we need about $100. We've been trading it for about 2.5 months. And we've taken 3 losses. This is where I said I took those losses back. This was during rollover week. I struggled pretty bad during rollover week. I was having a really hard time. But that was the only week that I really struggled so far. But so we didn't lose the accounts. So we just took our losses and moved on. The only time I really messed up last month is whenever I had a little bit of a tilt day on my Bulanox account. Not Bulanox account. I'm sorry, the elusive account, the elusive funded account. So had a little bit of moment with the elusive. So we lost our elusive funded back in March. See, I don't know if this thing is. Oh my goodness. We're out of our elements, guys. So, like I said, we're our screens are set up different. We're in a different place trading, so it definitely makes you feel off when you're not, in your normal trading spot with your normal screens where they're supposed to be, your chats where it's supposed to be. Like everything's off here. So instead of having everything in front of me, I constantly either have to look to the side or turn my head and just so. Oh goodness. I still think this market wants the 50% pullback. What do you guys think? The 50% pullback's down at the 20. There's something about the Asia market in the overnight session that loves to retest the 50%. The VWAP's at the 324 too. Nice. So maybe it'll just dip below the VWAP, touch that 50% and go back up here, Grimes. Yeah, as you can see, I don't know where anything is when it comes to VWAP or EMAs. I used to use those quite a bit, but I just have gotten away from using them. There's nothing, I mean, I think they help. I just have gotten away from using them. Nice little VWAP bounce. So, time is it? So since we're not at our house, we're definitely it makes it easier for your old brain to know where it's at. Yeah, like I said, I mean, I just have not used those in a while because I don't really use those when I'm trading in the morning. And all my funded trades come in the first 15 minutes almost every single day. So almost all those trades that I show y'all, like all my funded trades while I go on that account was from morning time. We either in the first 5 to 15 minutes. Today it came on the 15-minute candle. Yeah, sorry I forgot to hit the live button on TikTok this morning, guys. I was already about 25 minutes in my stream like, oh, crap. And I do that sometimes. I don't mean to. It just happens. I thought we had well, that was a little 5-minute inside bar. A lot of times if you break the bottom of that inside bar and it can't continue down, maybe we'll get the push back up above, what, 32? Is there anybody in a longer short right now? Or is anybody trapped in a trade or what? Anybody trying to DCA out of a trade? I find myself more in trouble with my evals in the nighttime than any other market. I still have my struggle moments in this market. Nice. Hopefully your long works out. I do like the longs. If we can maybe break this candle that we're inside now, just kind of like to see what happens if we're going to break to the downside or if we're going to stay to the top side. Either that or I would like to see what happens with the 15-minute, not the 15 minutes, but the 50% mark sent down at the 20. Because like I said, Asia loves to touch that 50% mark. Woo. What's your target, Grams? If you're long from 325, so what are you looking for? Are you trying to look for something for us to rerun this wick up here, or are you looking for just quick targets? So a lot of times I'll go in with like 3 or 4 micros, just looking for like a quick. Man, that thing just lost that freaking. Or do you have your stop loss already at the VWAP? I don't like the shorts if we're not back below 310, guys. So if we can't get back below 310s, we're not going to short this. This could just be a little fake out to the bottom size. Try to increase your. I guess my volume's low on my microphone. Either that or I don't have it close enough to my mouth. Want to see it break the 310s, like I said. As long as if 310s hold, I think you're good as far as your long position goes, but you got to hold those 310s. You can kind of see how we've had so much consolidation around here, 310s. We got 50 seconds for a new 5-minute candle. Let's see. I'm sorry. How much money is needed in account to trade this particular funded contract? I want to say if you're using NinjaTrader or Tradeovate, I want to say like $50 a contract. So probably a couple $100 to trade 1 micro. Because these are only $2 a contract. I think it depends on what broker you're using. Yeah, that's about right. $200. So they would need to keep at least $250 in their account before Tradeovate closes their account. So $50 per micro contract. Uh, have you been trading a while? We're just trying to be patient here. See what happens with the 300 here. So that 310 was kind of like my line in the sand there. Yeah, a lot of my accounts, I got multiple accounts tied to Trade of 8. I'm still looking for that VWAP to get hit down at 265. So we'll try to find us a short entry here in a minute. We're just trying to be patient without jumping in. 310 would be my line in the sand here. So as long as 310 holds, but if we did risk the 10 points, basically we'd just be back at a break even. So let's wait and see what happens around the 90 level and see if we get a push back up into the 300s. Because I think we were short from 90 earlier. So there's your first 90 hit. We got 53 seconds left on this candle. I'm going to see if we can be patient and wait for this next 5-minute candle. 30 seconds left. All right, about to have that new 5-minute candle. $300. Oh, hope I didn't jump in too early. Yeah, 309 is my kind of line in the sand here. We're looking for 309 to hold here. We lose 309, it's probably going back up there to the highs. Really don't want to try to DCA back in this. So more likely we'll just take our loss, and that'll just pretty much put us back. Not quite. I think it'll put us in a little red a little bit for the evening, because I think we're up almost like $900 on this eval. We're actually 850. So like right now we're in the red, 12 bucks. I've been looking for that freaking pivot to get hit down there at the 65. Most nights we run those pivots, but tonight we just don't want the pivot. As long as the 310, 309 holds, I'm okay with holding a little drawdown. It's only if we start losing the 309 area. And I don't really care to do any DCA in if I don't have to. That usually doesn't, that's kind of a hit and miss if that's going to go good or not. Sometimes it goes good, and sometimes I just get destroyed trying to DCA back into trades. We did a little retest of that area up there. We've got about 50 seconds left for a new 5-minute candle. And a new 15-minute candle. So like I said, if this next candle looks like it's going to break back above 310, we'll just close our trade. And our bias will have to change. Two seconds. It comes at 309, 310 area. So that's definitely my bull bear line there. Might be a good spot for me to possibly add here. Ah, shoot. Still just kind of bumping our heads on that 310, 3 area. Is like I said, as long as that area holds, I feel comfortable holding a trade. We just don't really want to get above that, like you know, where it looks like we're going to be pushing. What's up, Roy Smith? How are you doing tonight? Oh, we losing our level. Oh no. It's been kind of iffy tonight. Right now we're in a negative drawdown. I think we are actually in the red a little bit now because we lost our profits from our gold trade earlier. I think overall we're up what, $800 in this account. How much time we got? Man, we still got 2 minutes left. But this is why I don't trade fundeds in Asia market. So I still have my struggle moments in the Asia. Yes. 1, 2, 3. I guess it really depends on what prop firm you're trading with. Some prop firms have a lot more rules than others. I think you just got to find the one that kind of fits your trading style. The rules don't really. The only prop firm that I used to struggle with their rules was Apex, in which I don't use them anymore, so I don't have to worry about it. Now I just use Bulanox. And Bulanox just wants you to stay somewhat consistent. That's all they really care about. Yeah, we trade micros every day. Shoot. Do we close the trade or should we try to DCA back into the trade? But man, this thing could go up freaking nonstop and we're just going to end up in a big deep hole. Uh-oh. All right, let's see if the 25 here. Yeah, we use Bulanox at the moment for most of our funded accounts. So, like, I have 5 or 6 funded accounts with Bulanox. I want to say 5, either 5 or 6 funded with Bulanox. But you only can trade 3 at a time. Yeah, same here. It seems like every time I get a payout with them, I always got denied. So I just had to just get away from them. Trading's hard enough to, you have to sit there and think about if I'm breaking a rule or not. So I don't really try to use trading to pay my bills. I just think of like money you make on trading as like bonuses. You know, I'm not someone over here because I don't have those type of funds to risk. Like, you know, if you're hearing someone says, you know, if they're making $10, $20, $30,000 trading, that means they got a lot of money to risk. I don't have that kind of money to risk to make that kind of money. I mean, it's basically just depending on how much money you got to risk on how much you're probably going to make. I'm just happy just making $1,000 to $2,000 a month. If I can just make a few $1,000s a month, that's a plus, or even 1,000. I mean, so like I didn't get any payouts in March. I struggled pretty bad in March, but I didn't blow up my accounts, but I still struggled a little bit. I'm waiting on a $1,000 payout right now from Bulanox, so I'm hoping I get that Wednesday, and then hopefully after that we're only $800 away from another $1,000 payout. Hopefully we'll get that this month too, so that'll be our, you know, $2,000 in payouts, maybe $3,000 if we can get that 50K, because we only got to make $1,000 to get to a payout at this point, since we've got big buffers in these accounts. So you just got to hold on to your buffer once you start getting payouts with Bulanox. So with like the 50K, you got to keep like a $2,500 buffer. So, and you got to get to $3,600. So like, see how I'm at $3,600, 53,611. Once you break the 3,600, you can request 1,000, and it takes you back down to 25,000, or, you know, what, 52,500, I think, 2,500. Then with the 50Ks or 25Ks, it's $1,500 is your buffer. So that one's at 26,800, and you got to keep at least 26,500 or $1,500. You just got to make $1,000 over the buffer to request $1,000. I mean, you can do a lot more, but I say if you get to payout, you take what money you can, even if it's $100. Don't do like some people try to build up. Oh, yeah. I think it's because I keep turning my head away from the mic because I'm constantly looking at different charts. So this isn't my normal trading area. So everything is kind of off at the moment. And see, I think with this mic, you have to talk directly on top of it. And anytime I turn my head, it's different. No, I'm looking at my chat. So the chat is, every time I turn my head, it's me. I'm looking at the chat. I did like the fact that we lost those O10s. It's not financial advice. That's pretty good. I like that one. Go hard. Hey, if you can't handle losing in trading is probably not going to be very nice to you. That is one thing that took me a little bit to get used to, is getting comfortable with losing trades. Yeah, I'm looking at 3 different chats, True King. So I have the TikTok chat, the uh, vertical YouTube chat and horizontal YouTube chat. What's up, Nick? You're back to funded again? Nice. No, Becker, we're on MNQ. We're trading micros. Just do your best to hold on to it, man. Just build you a buffer, Nick. What? So he says he's gifting the first 5 people to message me. God did. Stay safe. All right. Already got 150 on each account. Nice. Up 2 funded. My daily goal on my funded is probably between 100 to 150. So since I got multiple accounts to the buffered zone, I only have to make $1,000 in each of those accounts to get to $1,000 payout. So if I can stay consistent for the next, say, week and a half till next week, I should hit another $1,000 payout, hopefully by next week. Hundreds. So like today, I think we made 170. But I'm trading small accounts. I'm only trading 25 accounts. So you really can't over leverage those accounts because it'll just jack them up if you take a loss. So we could close this trade right here and only be down 11 bucks. Probably 2.5 years, consistently. I've only been like consistently stay, where we're just constantly just stay green every day, probably for like the last 6 months or so. Like we've been pretty consistent, probably since about the end of last year. I think that one big hurdle that I struggled with was not being too scared to trade my funded accounts. Like I had to get through that phase. I don't know if anybody else has that, deals with that. Like I would do so well on like evals, but man, when it comes to fundeds, the mind games that will just be played with your head would just be insane. And I would struggle with just being scared to trade my fundeds and not wanting to take losses. So, but I finally got past that. And now I feel comfortable doing that, taking the funded trades every single day. We take funded trades every day, no matter what, win or lose. I think whatever prop, if you're going to use prop firms, whatever one fits your trading style, because some have different rules that you have to follow. I think it depends on what, your trading style. To me, a lot of those rules don't affect me. I did struggle with some of Apex rules whenever they kept changing their rules around, but I mainly just use Bulanox for my fundeds. I blew my Lusa funded 2 weeks ago, maybe 3 weeks ago, back in March. Oh yeah, we're short. I've been looking for this pivot to get hit all night, man. Down at 65. There's that pivot. we've been. This is the second time we've tried to get this pivot touch. So we'll see if we get down there this time. We like to trade off around pivots, guys. That is the pivots with the settings changed to Fibonacci. And we keep getting stuck here around the 80s, so we might not even get back there and just rip back up. Yeah, it's definitely a CT. You know, like I always explain to people, whenever you start trading your sim account, you get really comfortable with your sim account. Then you get to evals, you get comfortable with your evals, and that usually takes a while. I mean, you can spend a year trading evals before you really start getting good at passing evals. Then you kind of switch over to fundeds. Fundeds is really where it can really mess with you because of how expensive they are. You know, if you're spending a lot of money on funded account, it will really take a toll on you. And that's the key, to try not to spend a bukus of money. Now, if you're lucky enough to spend a lot of money and make a lot of money, it's not too bad. You know, if you're making $3,000-$4,000 a month, but you're spending $1,000 on evals or funded accounts, you know, it's really not that bad. I mean, you know, it's just, I know of a lot of people that do that. There's a lot of big streamers that do that too. They might not tell you, but they do it. I know quite a few of them. Not personally know them, but you know, mostly everybody's talking, so you know what a lot of them are doing, and it's a percentage game. Yes, it really depends on what prop firm you're uh you're trading with, on how much it's going to cost you. Because you got to think they're going to pay you real money if you get to payout, so they're not going to let you have that for free. And like I said, and also if you go, you know, talk to someone who's used their real money in trading, most of the times they lose their money. So no, this is not Bitcoin. This is futures. So it looks like our runner's going to get stopped out here. So like, I'm kind of considered starting a live account, because I've gotten pretty good at staying consistent in the morning. So I've been kind of interested in trading a live account, like a small live account, like $1,000 or something. Yeah, this is a this is a big ass wick, dude. It's like a 25-point wick, so we're probably gonna get stopped out here on our runner. Uh, Damn. Oh well, the pivot didn't get touched. Does that mean this thing's gonna stay bearish? I mean bullish, or is that just a? Or is this thing gonna come up and take us out and go back all the way down? That is so freaking dirty, man. I do. I am, man. This is dirty. That is so freaking dirty, guys. I try to move my stop loss up a tad bit more in case. Uh, we do trade a lot, but we don't pay our bills with trading. Or I don't need trading to pay my bills, because I do work on the side. I do have businesses on the side. My wife and I, well, my wife runs a salon business in the next town over where we live. So I think once you get to the point where you got to make your money trading, that's going to put a lot of stress on you. So usually I don't make a lot of money on YouTube either. So like sometimes I can make like a few $100s on affiliates. And like I think I made my first $100 on YouTube this month or last month. Yeah, last month was my first time making $100 on YouTube, and that took 2 years. It took forever. It took forever. Dude, I just got that was just so dirty of the nasty girl. Was that not dirty of the nasty girl to come up there and stop me out, then drop back down freaking 20 points? Dude, heck yeah, man. Fifth payout on elusive. I'm ready to get them elusive payouts too, man. I'm so close to getting my elusive funded back that I lost a couple weeks ago. We need to make about $25 to get our. Oh, you're trading against me? Nice. This is some nasty price action, dude. I can't believe this thing just stopped me out to go back down. I'm not going to try that a third time. Most of the time, I try not to try the same trade 3 times in a row. Because we've already took that twice. No. Yeah, we're pretty comfortable for whatever, happens. I've taken enough losses that, I'm to the point where, losses, I know losses are just part of trading. It really just depends on how much you're going to lose. That's where I try to stay consistent with my fundeds during the New York session. Most of the time, we're risking like 20 to 25 points in the morning. So, which is about $120 to $140 per trade. Dude, I cannot believe we just retraced this whole freaking move. I was thinking that, man, when we pushed back up like that, it was just going to pop back up there. Man, that's just dirty. Dirty, dirty, dirty. Like I said, the nasty girl you just don't take home to see your parents. Look at her. She's going to give you the pivot. I've tried this pivot twice already. Do we try the pivot long, Nick? What do you think? Do you think she's going to give us the pivot long, or she's just going to blast it? I'm gonna try it. Why not? We will give it very, very short space here. And we'll give it one try. Because it could blast this level. So we're still up $50 in the green. So if it blasts it, it blasts it. So we got about 10 points worth of drawdown. Let me make sure that's a right level here, because 64, it's at 64, so basically 65. Oh, shoot. There's the 64. It looks like we're blasting that level. Holy crap, man. We blasted that shit hard. it just dumped right through that damn thing. Come on, pull back. All right, let's just see if we hold this level. Like I said, if it holds it, we will look for long off of this. Because that's also at the previous day high there too. Oh, it hit the previous day high. That's what we hit. It may give you your 10 points. So that would have been my 5 points there. There comes your 10 points. I I think it gives you your 10 points. I paper handed that one, guys. I went to break even way too fast. There's your 10 points. So that's all I look for is 10 points in runners. That would have been your pivot bounce. But that didn't really bounce off the pivot. That bounced off that previous day high sitting there at what? 54s. Did you at least take the 10 points out of that one, Nick? Now, if we could print another candle. Oh, you were short. I didn't take this trade for the third time, man. This was the target that we were looking for all night, guys. This was this two shorts that I was in. All night we were sitting here waiting for that 65 to get hit. And we didn't get it. We didn't get to take it. $50 seconds left. What's up? Where? Woo! Just blasted it. Trading at the 15 TF. I'm not sure what that is. Yeah, I wouldn't try it on a second time. The second time, you just leave it alone. I want to see a wick back into the 64s here. I will try to short this off that pivot if the wick back into the 64 and get back below the previous day high. And use that 64 as my stop loss. You want to see it kind of retest this area here. Nice retest. You just want to make sure it's not going to blast that level because sometimes it will do that where it'll get under it, then it'll just go straight back up here. Because you have what? 215 as your next target down. Ooh. See if it's going to hold. It bounced off the 709 optional time entry. I guess I'm not aware of that one. Powers. It's nighttime here in Austin, Texas. Yeah, most definitely. It is probably what? It's only 8 o'clock there. It's 8 o'clock in Austin, Texas. Still fairly early in the evening. Yeah, I don't guess I've ever heard of that. That's fairly new to me. What time is it? You're looking for 300 short off the 300s. What are you doing over there, Nick? Taking some fish slips trades? Took you a little bit of a 250. Then take the most recent low and it says, are you talking about this low here at the 50 level? Like that? Only wants to move slow. Yeah, I think that 203 was from earlier today. Yeah, that was from earlier today. This is the 5 minutes. The only time I use the hourly time frames in the morning time. So what are you looking for here? Yellow? What's up, candle dealer? How are you doing? You're in short? Where are you short from, candle dealer? I was short, candle, and I got stopped out. The nasty girl didn't like the fact that I was short. Then she decided to sell down 50 points. So unfortunately, we had to sit there and watch it sell down. That's right. You're on the ES. I forgot you trade. The gang box should have the price levels. Yeah, the only time I really use these boxes is in the morning time. So These are all your 4-hour candles. That box that you see starting out right now is this box here. So this is your 4-hour candle, 4-hour candle. As you can see, when we ran that 4-hour candle this morning, we pretty much, that was our low of the day, this 4-hour candle here. And this morning after we, this was kind of like this 4 hours low here. Before we pretty much rip back up to the top side. So, oh, excuse me. I'd like to see this candle just kind of push back down. Yeah, that would be if you're on TradingView Blazing Powers. Ooh, gold's over there being nasty this evening, guys. Nasty, nasty. I think so. Why? Do you have a question, Pizza? What truth are you looking for? You should only ask people that if they're trying to sell you a course. There's plenty of people out there trying to sell courses and signals and Discord. There's a lot of those people on TikTok. No, sir. This is the 5-minute time frames. I don't have a certain amount because, like I said, I don't try to live off the money I make from trading to pay my bills. We're going to try your one thing tomorrow, Fish Lips, with the 25s. May even have to go buy a Bewley account to try that. Those people don't make money trading. The ones that are selling you stuff, CT. I wouldn't even want to do that. That sounds tough. I would not want to sell signals. That's too much. To me, that would be too much pressure. Oh. Fish Lips, the nasty girl, got me tonight, man. I was short from about I had my entry at 307. And dude, you see that big old wick on that 5-minute candle? That thing came all the way back up there to stop me out, then rip right back down. Because I've been looking for that pivot touch all night long down at 65. They need $50 in my private group on a Telegram. Yeah, I've tried copy trading. I still dabble a little bit with the copy trading, but man, it seems like every time I start copy trading, I start taking losses. Then I start looking at multiple losses on multiple funded accounts. So it deters me away. The initial balance. Three for three tonight, man. I know. I asked Nick. I said, "Were you taking that?" He had said something about that 350. I thought maybe he was taking that 350 bounce down there. Introducing brokers. Yeah, the only thing that's about streaming here is like, this is not where I sleep, so I have to drive down the road. Lisa, we're on MNQ. It's been an up and down tonight, so we took a win, we took a loss, and we haven't really made anything tonight on these accounts. We're only up like 30 something bucks tonight. I was hoping for this bigger trade while I go down at 65, but we got stopped out, and so we didn't get it. So we just pretty much had to watch it because that would have been my third time entering, and I didn't want to enter it the third time. I try not to enter it 3 times in a row. I mean, it happens. I mean, I don't know. I just try not to. Yeah, we're on the MNQ. Huh. I don't guess I've ever heard of that. CTE. Yeah, I'm only gonna be on here for a few more minutes, fish lips. Like I said, I'm at my sister's house, streaming, and so I have to drive back to my mother's home, which is about 20 minutes away. I can't stream it. You know, my mom being older, I don't know about trying to convince someone older than yourself that their internet's horrible. Their internet is horrible. So, but hey, it is what it is. They got like some 10 gigabyte upload speed, and there's just no way to run your computer over there, man. It's just I couldn't even probably stream, like log on to my charts without it lagging. So I use my sister's house. She's nice enough to let me set up in her I guess that was to be like her dining room, or off a little room off her living room or something, I guess. I'm not sure what you would call this room. Yeah, we're gonna look at them tomorrow because, like I said, if I was at home, you know, I try to stay on here for a few hours, but just not being at home, it's a little different. And plus, like all my stuff is off. So like the screen that I'm trading on is kind of like there to my left, but all my chat's here to the right. So I'm constantly turning my head looking to the right. Then I have another screen that's directly behind me that I got to completely turn around and look at, which there's not really much on there that I'm using. That's just where I have all the streaming pages. Surprised that TikTok didn't crash tonight. Usually TikTok goes down if I don't check it every now and then. Dude, if that your second $2,000 payout with Apex Fish Slips? So does that mean, what is that, $5,000 this past month with them? Yeah, I use Bulinox. That's who I'm getting payouts with right now. We just requested another payout last Thursday. They do their payouts. They process their payouts on Friday, so you got to have it in by Friday by midnight. And usually you get your money on a Wednesday or Thursday. At least that's the way it was last time. Dude, let's see. Okay, is that Whew. Dude, 3 or 4 thousand doesn't go very long here. Most people around here at least are paying what, $1,000 to $1,500 in rent on average, or $1,000 to $1,500 for rent. So, the anytime you pay all your utilities and all that crap, you're probably 1,800 in, maybe 2,000 if you got good internet, and it's the winter months, or if it's the summer months where utility bills are a little bit more higher. I'm in the Midwest. I live in Northwest Arkansas. Nobody's from Northwest Arkansas. Everybody moves to Northwest Arkansas. Almost everybody there's, I don't want to say everybody, but majority of people either moved there for the University of Arkansas, uh, Tyson's, JB Hunt, or Walmart. That's pretty much where majority of that area works. And I've worked for Walmart. I think I actually used to work for Walmart Distribution Center for about 8, 9 years, a few years back, 8 years. So there's a lot of distribution centers around there. And also their home office, I guess, if you're, into the corporate world, they got tons of corporate jobs, I guess. I don't consider Northwest Arkansas the deep South. When I think of deep South, that's South Carolina, Georgia, Alabama, Mississippi, Louisiana. Those those are the states I consider deep South. Maybe parts of Tennessee. Now, South is probably considered, the rest of those states, but not the deep South. Like if you come to those super southern states, if you say deep South. And the only reason why I don't consider Northwest Arkansas the South is because everybody from Northwest Arkansas has pretty much migrated to that area from all over the country. I know when I first moved there, like 20 something years ago, you could hardly ever find anybody that was actually born there. Oh, you live in St. Louis, so you're about 5 hours away from where I live. So I think St. Louis is about 4.5 to 5 hours from where I live. Oh yeah, most definitely Big H. Whenever I think of the Deep South, those are the states I think of. Uh-oh, did we try shorting that previous day high for a few points? All right. See if we can just get 25 points. We broke that previous day high above what, 54? You got 10 points. I would have liked to short it as soon as we broke that pivot there, Nick, but the only thing that was stopping me was that previous day high. I wasn't sure if we would get through that or not. Sweet. I can see it's definitely going to that previous day open there with that big gold line. That's your midnight candle from 2 nights ago. Nice. That pushed us over $100 for the night after winning a little and losing a little. So you're over there trading the oil. I can get another chart to look at oil. I don't want to change on those charts there. I wonder why. I don't know. For some reason, my oil never saves. You said MCL. Dude, slow go. Dude, all I see is it's costing more money at the pump, dude. Slow that baby down. Woo. We got to pay for premium over here. At least to get back home. I'm driving my wife's car here, so I got to put premium in it. I guess previous day's high sitting up there at 115. Is that what you're trading, Zoo? It looks like the EVs are going to be making. Dude, I don't care how much gas costs. I would probably never buy EV. I like to travel a little bit in my vehicle, so there's just no way I'm going to be stopping. And the only way that I can see myself using an EV is just around town. I can never have one just to, for traveling because I don't ever fly nowhere. Everywhere I go, I drive usually. So like we'll be coming back to Georgia in February 16th. I'm not February 16th, May 16th. I'm sorry, May 16th. So I'll be back in the same place streaming again on May 16th. But we'll be back to our regular streaming, room that you're used to seeing next Monday. Yeah, I wouldn't. If I was gonna do electrical, it would just have to be for like your around town or back and forth to work and stuff. The only thing I use as far as electrical goes right now is I have an electrical bicycle or bike that I use that my wife bought me a couple years ago. And those things are a lot of fun because they go like almost 40 miles per hour. So those things be moving. If you got, one of the, bigger EV bikes, I guess. All right. Oh, you were 5 points away from your order at the 86. Oh, oh, now I understand what you're saying, Nick. Dude, why can I hold my short from the freaking 307s, man? I was so annoyed that I got stopped out on that trade earlier. It was this it was this dirty candle right here that got me. I should have just moved it up here to 320 and just risked 10 points. Cuz I think my entry was at 307 the time that first target hit. I probably wouldn't have been in it past the previous day high, though. That's where I would have taken my profit at that previous day high or that pivot. So that gold, like dotted line that you see down at the bottom of the screen, that is your midnight opening candle. That candle offers a really good bounce most days. So let's go and find the midnight opener and see what it did when it opened that midnight. So this would have been your midnight opener right here last night at the 2023, maybe. So that'd be 2300. So I think that would have been your midnight opener there. This would have been your opener. It seems like that candle gives you, or that time gives you like a nice move one way or the other. You can see once we got it back above it, it was holding all night long. And then even when it came back down to here, you got another nice bounce off of that midnight candle. I'm gonna wait and see if we hit the looks like 315s or so. Sorry if I keep looking around. My camera's in the way of my charts. Like I said, I stayed on a little later than I was planning on it. I was only planning on staying on until about 9:30 because like I said, I have to drive to where I'm staying. Yeah, I can see that being a nice little retest area, Nick. Retest of that pivot. The only thing about it, excuse me, it may not get through there because it could just retest that previous day high where that blue line is. That was the previous day high from yesterday. So if it was from yesterday, so this means it was the previous day high from either Friday or Thursday. All right, guys. Like I said, I think that was going to be my last probably trade of the night. I'm glad we were able at least to finish it off with a little winner because I feel like I was on the struggle bus tonight. And we've got a nice little streak going for the opener recently. The opener has been paying at least nice 30 points. I think that was Friday, so we didn't take Friday's opener. So I want to say I can't remember where we took our trade Thursday to get to our payout, but it would have been in here somewhere because we took 30 points. I want to say we took 60 points out of this one because we bought the breakout. So how we ended up doing this one was, here's your 15-minute candle that we like to trade off of. And basically we took it on what, 15-minute candle, 20-minute candle in. And so we kind of wigged back it down into this 15 minutes where it was holding. And once we broke above this consolidation period, we got long here. I think we took this for 60 points. I don't think we lost any last week on the opener. I think we hit that trade every day. I can't remember this one, but it was almost the same exact setup. Isn't that funny? I don't know. I've noticed that. I trade the opening every single day, and I noticed that sometimes the entries look just alike from like multiple days, and then the market switches up. So about 2 days, you'll get 2 days of the market making the same type of break. Isn't this weird? So look at this setup right here. 1, 2, 3, fourth candle blast. Go back over here to this last one. Look, see, we're outside the 15 minutes. So 1, 2, 3, fourth candle blast. Swear, man. The good old market makers. Let's see what we got over her. So this was the same thing, but to the other side. Look, 1, 2, 3, 4 blast to the bottom side. It's crazy. If you go back and look at all these openings, they'll look alike for like 2 or 3 straight days. Then all of a sudden they'll change it and it'll do something different. Oh, shoot. This one also blasted on I guess because the 830, being the 830 candle. So that one I wouldn't have taken because that was outside the 15 minutes. Yeah, we always trade the opening. All right, guys. Thank you guys for watching. But we'll be back for the opening in the morning. Like I said, we trade the opening every morning. That's where we trade all of our funded accounts. So I've yet to be over, man, somebody, I can't, that was so loud. I want to say this would be the most money we've had in this account tomorrow if we were able to get a win. Because like I said, we've been stuck here. Well, just don't get yourself in trouble in the good old Asia market tonight, Nick. All right, guys, we will be back in the morning. Thank you guys for watching.